Hello and welcome back to Daily English Upgrade. I am very happy you are here today. Today we have a special story for you, a story about a young woman named Lena and her journey to build a new life, one small habit at a time. We will use simple, clear English and a gentle, slow pace, perfect for your A2 and B1 listening practice. You do not need to hurry, just listen, relax, and let the story flow over you. If you like this lesson, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It helps us make more lessons for you. Now let us begin the story of Lena. Part 1: The Weight of Yesterday. Lena lived in a large city. She was 25 years old, and she worked as a designer for a big company. From the outside, it seemed like Lena had a perfect life, a good job, a nice apartment, and many friends. But inside, Lena felt heavy and she felt tired. Every evening she came home, she sat on the sofa, and she watched television until midnight. Every morning she woke up late, she felt stressed, and she rushed to work. Lena often thought, I want to change, I want to feel lighter, I want to be more productive. But when the morning came, she always returned to her old ways, her old habits. They were like comfortable, heavy blankets. The old habits held her down, they made her feel stuck. The weight of yesterday pulled her into today. One Sunday morning, Lena looked at her apartment, and she felt a sudden strong desire for change. She saw the pile of clothes on the chair, she saw the dirty dishes in the sink, and she saw a list of goals she had made 6 months ago, all of them untouched. She said aloud, this must stop. I must start small. I must build a better life, not in one day, but day by day. She decided she needed a mentor, someone to guide her, not a person, but a book. Lena went to the small bookshop on the corner. She found a book about building small, good habits. The title was simple, The Architect of Tomorrow. She bought the book, she made a cup of strong tea, and she sat down to read. The book said that big changes are difficult, big changes cause your brain to resist. The book said that small changes are easy, small changes lead to big results. The book suggested this rule: make the action so small that it is impossible to skip it. Lena smiled, she liked this idea, she thought, I will try one small thing today. She chose her first habit, not to clean the whole apartment, not to write a whole report, but simply to drink one full glass of water immediately after waking up. The task was very small, very easy, but it was a change, it was a start. Part 2: The First Brick. The next morning, Lena woke up at her usual time, late. She felt the familiar rush of stress. Her mind told her, you do not have time for water, you must run to the shower. But then she remembered the rule, impossible to skip. The glass of water was waiting for her on the bedside table. She reached out, she picked up the glass, and she drank the whole glass, cool and refreshing. The action took only 20 seconds, but when she finished, she felt a tiny spark of victory, a tiny feeling of control. She had done the thing she said she would do. She had started her day with a small win. Lena felt the weight of yesterday lift a little. She thought, one glass of water, that is my first brick. I am building something new. For the rest of the week, she kept the promise. Every morning, one glass of water, a consistent, small success. By the second week, she felt ready for the next small brick. The second brick was to do one single push-up before leaving the bathroom. This brick was more difficult, her body was weak. The first day, the push-up was terrible. Her arms felt like jelly, but she did it. One push-up. She wrote the feeling in her small notebook. The push-up was bad, but the feeling of finishing was good. By the third week, Lena felt a new kind of energy. The feeling of success was stronger than the desire to stay on the sofa. She added her third small habit, to read one single page of a difficult professional book before watching television. This third habit helped her focus. It made her brain feel active. She noticed that after reading one page, she often wanted to read two, then three. The book said that the first step is the most important. You do not need a lot of motivation for a small step. You need a lot of motivation for a big step. Lena has learned that the small action is the signal, not the goal. The water is the signal for a healthy start. The push-up is the signal for strength. The one page is the signal for learning. She is becoming the architect of her own day. She is putting the bricks in place, one after the other. What about you? What is one very small thing that you can do tomorrow morning to start your day with a small win? It must be so small that it is impossible to skip. Think about it, the smallest action is often the key to the biggest change. Lena has found a new kind of life not by jumping, but by building slowly, deliberately, brick by small brick. Lena has started her journey to a better life by building 3 small daily habits: drinking 1 glass of water, doing 1 push-up, and reading 1 page of a book. She is learning that small, consistent action is the key to big change. Part 3: The Architecture of Friendship. Lena has found a new kind of life not by jumping, but by building slowly, deliberately, brick by small brick. But Lena did still feel lonely. Her apartment was cleaner, her body was a little stronger, but she had not made any new connections. She realized that a strong life needs more than bricks. It needs support, it needs community. Her fourth small habit was about connection. It was simple to text one friend every day and ask a real question, not just hello. For example, she would text her friend Marco and ask, "What is the most interesting thing you have learned this week?" Or she would text her friend Sarah and ask, "What are you looking forward to this weekend?" The task was small, but the result was huge. Before, Lena had felt that her friendships were fading, like old photographs. Now, because she sent a small message every day, she was getting interesting messages back. Marco had started a new hobby, Sarah had planned a trip, Lena was part of their lives again. She has learned that effort is needed for friendships, just like for push-ups. A friendship is a two-way street. She wrote in her notebook, "Friendship is not a habit you get. It is a habit you build." One evening, Marco called her. He said, "Lena, you have been so positive lately. Let us try a new challenge together." Marco had decided to learn how to bake bread. He was struggling with the first steps. He asked Lena to join him in a baking class. Lena had never baked anything complicated. She was nervous, but she remembered her rule: say yes to new experiences. She agreed to the class. She felt excited. She had not felt this excited about learning something new in years. Part 4: The Test of the Oven. The baking class was held every Saturday morning. It was very different from her work. It was loud, messy, and it smelled wonderful, like yeast and sugar. Lena and Marco worked side by side. Their first loaf of bread was a disaster. It was hard, flat, and it tasted terrible. Lena felt the frustration. The old habit of giving up whispered in her ear, "You are not good at this. You should quit." But then she looked at Marco. Marco was laughing. He said, "We have created a new doorstop. It is a victory in failure." Lena realized that the old habit of quitting had not returned. She had replaced it with a new one, the habit of perseverance, the habit of laughing. They kept trying. The second loaf was better, the third loaf was good, and the fourth loaf was soft, round, and absolutely delicious. Marco has since taught her how to make pizza dough, and Lena has baked bread for her neighbors. She has received compliments, and she has felt proud. She has learned a crucial lesson: failure is just practice for success. You do not need to be perfect immediately. She is the architect and the dough is the project. It requires patience, a little warmth, and consistency. Marco has become one of her most reliable sources of support. He checks on her habits, she checks on his baking progress. They have helped each other grow. Their friendship has become stronger because of the shared challenge. Think about your English learning. You are building a strong language foundation. You will make mistakes. You will feel frustrated. Do you have a friend who can share the challenge with you? Who is your Marco? Find someone and build your English together. The journey is easier when you are not alone. Lena has found that her body, her mind, and her social life are all improving, all because of the tiny bricks she started with. Part 5: The Architect's Blueprint. As the months passed, Lena did not stop. She continued to build new habits. The water became 1 liter of water. The one push-up became 10 push-ups. The one page became 20 minutes of reading. She is a living example of the book's main message: tiny changes lead to massive differences. Lena realized that the core lesson was not about the water or the push-ups. The lesson was about identity. When she started, she said, "I want to be a productive person." But now she says, "I am a person who drinks water, who exercises, who reads, and who connects with friends." She has changed who she is, not by magic, but by action repeated every day. She has built the identity of an architect, someone who creates, someone who does not give up. She has realized that the new habits have changed her work life too. She is more focused, she is less stressed. Her manager has noticed the improvement. Lena is no longer rushing. She has given herself the time. She has built the structure. She has achieved a deep sense of peace. She has decided that she will use her new focus to learn a new professional skill, one that will help her company grow. She is looking forward to the future, not with fear, but with quiet confidence. Lena has started her journey to a better life by building small, daily habits like drinking water, exercising, reading, and connecting with friends. She has learned that these tiny, consistent actions build the identity of an architect, someone who creates and does not give up. Part 6: The Wisdom of the Architect. Lena has built the identity of an architect, someone who creates, someone who does not give up. She is looking forward to the future, not with fear, but with quiet confidence. One morning, Lena opened her old notebook, the one with the dusty list of goals she had made 6 months ago. The list said, "I will learn a new language, I will start running, I will clean the whole apartment in one day." Lena smiled and she closed the book. She realized the old Lena had thought of life as a big project to be finished quickly. The new Lena has learned that life is a series of small habits to be maintained consistently. The old goals were too big, too overwhelming. The new goals are built on a strong foundation of small actions. She has realized that the new habits have changed her work life too. She is more focused, she is less stressed. Her manager has noticed the improvement. Lena has achieved a deep sense of peace. She is no longer rushing, she has given herself the time. She wrote a final note in her current journal: "I am not waiting for a miracle, I am building one brick, every day." And that, my friends, is the end of Lena's story, for now. Grammar and vocabulary review. Now, let us review 3 key words from Lena's journey, words that will help you become the architect of your own English learning. The first word is habit, habit. A habit is something you do automatically, without thinking. Lena created the habit of drinking water. You are building the habit of listening to English every day. The second word is challenge, challenge. A challenge is a difficult task. It tests your ability. The disastrous first loaf of bread was a challenge for Lena and Marco. Learning new vocabulary is a challenge for you. The third word is foundation, foundation. A foundation is the solid base on which something big is built. Lena used small habits to create a strong foundation for her new life. Your strong foundation in English is the simple grammar and basic vocabulary you have learned already. Final lesson in call to action. Lena's life teaches us one powerful lesson: do not wait for motivation to start. Start small, and motivation will follow. Think about your English practice. If you feel overwhelmed, make it smaller. Instead of saying, "I will study for 2 hours," say, "I will listen to 1 minute of this story." That is your impossible to skip brick. Your consistent effort, your daily habits, will build your future fluency. You are the architect of your own English. Start building today. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Daily English Upgrade. If you found this story helpful, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It is the best way to support our work and ensure you do not miss the next lesson. Now, for your final challenge in the comments below, write one new small habit you will start tomorrow to improve your English. We will see you next time. Keep learning, keep building, and keep upgrading your English.